Are you afraid to tell someone that they are not treating you right and that your needs are not being met? Sometimes we actually get in our own way because we're afraid that we're going to hurt other people's feelings. But the thing that we need to realize is that it actually benefits everyone to speak up for your boundaries and your standards and the things that you need in a relationship. And this can be in a romantic relationship or a friendship or even at work with a coworker, etc. But it's super important to speak up when there is an issue. My name is Claire, and this channel is dedicated to helping you find success, happiness, and level up your life. So go ahead and subscribe now for more videos, and also feel free to check out the links below. I have all sorts of things to share with you guys if you want to support me on Patreon, if you want to check out my shop and my merchandise. So let's go ahead and get right into the reasons why we should always speak up for our needs in relationships. So the number one reason that we should speak up when we are having an issue is because your needs are valid, and you have to actually make sure that you know what your standards are in order for other people to be able to give you what you need in a relationship or in a friendship or anything. So how are you supposed to actually get what you want if you don't know what you want? So that is really, really important. For example, if you have a certain love language and if your romantic partner is just not fulfilling that, you need to make sure that you can actually express what it is that is missing so that you give them the opportunity to give you that, and so that you know that you're actually being true to yourself and the things that are important to you in a relationship. So make sure that you're always aware of how you're being treated, and make sure that your standards and your boundaries are being maintained in any situation, because the only thing that you can control is your own boundaries and your own standards and the things that you are allowing in your life. You have the control to keep things out of your life that aren't serving you and allow things into your life that are serving you. So make sure that you're really, really aware and conscious of these things and how they're making you feel, and being able to actually speak up for what you need. The second reason that it's important to tell people how you're feeling and if your standards aren't being met or if you're being mistreated is because it's good for them. They can't get away with this if you're going to tell them straight up that it's unacceptable to you, and you're going to walk away if they don't treat you correctly. So you can even think of it as you are helping them, because by maintaining a standard and saying, hey, if you are going to treat me like this, or if you're going to neglect me, I am going to walk away. That is going to give them the alert, like, oh my gosh, I guess I can't get away with this treatment, so I'm gonna have to change and work harder or act differently with this person if I want to maintain this relationship. And so it gives them the opportunity to grow into that person. How would they know naturally what they need to do to make you happy if you don't tell them, right? So that is another very important thing, is that you're giving them the tools that they need to make you happy. Because like, if you don't tell them, then they're gonna go off of their own, what they're getting away with or what's natural for them or how they treat other people, and they're just going to push that onto you. It's up to you to decide if that is acceptable or if things need to change or if you're being mistreated or neglected or abused. So you have to be able to do that very quickly and have those standards in place ahead of time before you enter into a relationship. Because if you still don't know what those standards are, then you're going to be having a very difficult time defining them, and you're going to have a difficult time understanding why you are feeling bad or why you're feeling a certain way around a certain person, because maybe they're just not giving you what you need, but you don't even know what you need yet. The next reason to always speak up, instead of being fearful and hiding it in and accepting the treatment that someone's giving you, you're actually giving them the opportunity to show you their true colors. So if you go ahead and tell someone, hey, I'm not being treated the way that I want to be treated, I feel neglected, or I feel like I don't get enough attention from you or whatnot, whatever it is, and if they come back and they don't change, and instead if they're just like, I don't care, they just don't change at all and they don't give you anything, then guess what that means? You just saved yourself so much heartache and so much headache, because this person has literally shown you right there in front of you that they are not willing or able, or maybe they just don't care enough to give you what you need. And in that case, you have freed yourself up, because now all of that emotional turmoil that you've been spending on that person, where you're like, oh, I don't know why I'm not getting what I need. When you finally just go ahead and express it and they don't give you what you need, then you get to move on, because you don't deal with that. You're not going to stick around when you've already stated your standards, you've already stated your boundaries, and they know clearly what it is that they're doing that needs to change, and they're not gonna do it. Then you get out of there. And that's gonna open you up to better relationships, better friendships, people who are actually going to care and who are going to give you the things that you need the most. So just be aware that any closed doors is actually the opportunity for a different door to open and more goodness to come into your life. Because when you know what you don't want and you can express that, you know what you do want. So by having those standards and speaking them out loud, you're able to weed out the people who don't have the care or capability or willingness to actually listen and take action to make you happy. And another great reason, if you want to think about the other person, you can think about how you're helping them by stating your needs and leaving the situation. So if this person just straight up is not caring and they're either mistreating you or abusing you or, you know, yelling at you all the time, and you say, hey, by the way, this is unacceptable to me, this needs to stop now or I'm leaving, and then they continue the behavior, you leave, guess what? They just got a consequence. So they know that they can't actually continue on with that behavior, and it gives them the chance to self-reflect, because now they have all this time without you that they can actually grow and develop into a better person with better management of their emotions, with better awareness of how they treat people, so that next time they can attract a relationship that is healthier. How are they supposed to grow and develop if you just allow them to continue to treat you that way over and over again? Their radar never has to go off because they're just treating you however they want and you're not saying anything, so they think that it's okay, and then they can carry that on to another relationship and do the same thing with someone else. So you're actually helping them and you're helping other people because you're creating awareness of the behavior that is not acceptable. So that's a great reason, even if you're thinking about it selflessly, where you're like, but I care so much about them and I don't want to rock the boat, or I don't want to cause turmoil and stress out this relationship. Well, guess what? Think about it in you are helping them by saying, no, this is not okay, and you need to change or I'm leaving. You give them the space and the opportunity to do that themselves without you in the picture. So always remember, in a situation like this, you need to know what your boundaries are. So this requires some research. Sometimes we just have accepted things from the past, from our childhoods, that are baggage, and we think that that's normal, but it actually is toxic. So you need to do some research on what is healthy and what is unhealthy, and specifically what you need and want in a relationship versus what you could live without. And then after you do that research, you can compile your own standards and your own boundaries. And then from there, in every single situation, in every single relationship, you will be ready. So if someone does something that is against your core standards, you will be able to say, hey, that's unacceptable. Please don't treat me like that. Or, hey, I'm not getting enough of what I need. This is what I need. Just always know this. The people who are meant to be there and the people who are meant to be in your life and who want to be in your life, they will grow and they will change to cater to your standards. So you're not actually missing out on anything or anyone if you tell them something and they don't do it. If they're unwilling, then you're actually doing yourself a favor. So just remember that. Get rid of those people who are going to ignore what you actually need. So all in all, it ends up being a completely positive thing. You speak up for yourself, you get rid of the people who aren't meant for you, and you attract the people who are meant for you. So that is my message of the day for creating standards and why it's so important to speak up in your relationships. Please go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed, and go ahead and subscribe. I love to hear your comments. It means so much to me, and I'm always so excited to hear your own insights and your own stories. So feel free to comment below, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much, you guys.